the Democratic debate took place last night. Let's just talk about that for a moment. So apparently, I brought this up last time I did a video with the Radical Independent. Reports were coming out that it was going to be a senior sit-down. Joe Biden wanted a sit-down style debate. Questions from a town hall. Of course, the town hall, that didn't happen due to COVID-19. Turns out a lot of things have been getting closed down, obviously. That's been circulating all over the news because of the, coronavirus. Okay. That has certainly caused a lot of problems in this country. And God help anyone looking for toilet paper, because it just isn't there. Okay. That being said, town hall thing, yeah, that wasn't happening. And as it also turns out, the sit down didn't happen either. I guess since they figured there's going to be no, audience, we'll just put you behind two podiums. Certainly practice their safe space with each other in regards to germs with those podiums, because they certainly put them far enough apart. Now, all the stuff that really doesn't make too much of a difference out of the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this debate. It was absolute trash. There were a few memorable moments from the debate. Okay. One of the more memorable moments being when the two were arguing back and forth about money and politics, for example, right? And, of course, Bernie turns over to Joe Biden like, Joe, I believe at one point you argued that we should get rid of super PACs and take all super PAC money out of politics. Didn't you argue for that, Joe? Of course, Joe, is like, or are you going to stop taking money from your 9 super PACs? Oh, no. I don't take super PAC money, Joe. No, I don't take super PAC money. Really? You got 9. What do you want me to do? List them off for you, Bernie? Yeah, go ahead. I want you to list them off. Oh, give me a break. Bernie hit him. He tried to sling mud. He failed. He tried to come back with the old happy grandpa. Oh, give me a break. With his big smile, that Joe Biden just cheesy grin he throws around, man. Wow. No, Joe. Bernie was right. We wasn't letting you off the hook on that one. Yeah, you got caught with your pants down there, man. You're taking the money. You tried to say Bernie was, but no, he's not. He's not taking super PAC money the way that you do, Joe. Okay. Joe, it was just no way for him to spend that one. So that was definitely a plus in the Bernie camp. In regards to very much else, I don't think Bernie did. Just from my takeaway, anything in that debate that's going to sway the upcoming states who are getting ready to vote. Let's look at the facts for what they are. To all of the hopefuls out there that really want to see this Bernie Sanders come back, it is in the territory. It wouldn't be as big of a political comeback as I said Tulsi Gabbard's would have been, but we're in the territory where it's nothing short of a miracle for Bernie to win this thing at this point. I know you've got the jank users that were, no, we got to do it. We're gonna do it because we're at war with the DNC. Yeah, okay, jank. I got something for all of you out there, okay? Especially somebody like Jank in particular. Did the DNC rig the primary against Bernie Sanders? Did they handpick a nominee? And have they silenced dissenting voices like those of Tulsi Gabbard? Kept them off of a debate stage? Have they done all this the entire time? Have they literally rigged another election in favor of a corporate candidate? Of course they have. And you people keep thinking that they are the answer to the problem. Okay. The Democrat Party is not the answer to the problem. Not at all. And they hadn't been in a long time. This notion of the takeover, it's not happening. It's just not happening. Okay? And what people are going to have to come to terms with is that if you're on the left side of politics, not everyone on the right is a boogeyman. And if you're on the right, not everyone on the left is a boogeyman. If you're on the left and you're looking at the right, realize this, and I've said it before. Not everyone on the right is a white supremacist who walks around wearing a bed sheet with 100 guns in a gun safe, shouting, "Yee yee America." Okay? It's just not true. Okay? If you're on the right, you're looking at people who support left. Not all of them, okay, are running around identifying as, genders that people have never heard of before, okay? Wanting dead cops, wanting us to become a communist, anarchist country, and want everyone to have a trophy, and are what the right likes to call the typical snowflake millennial. That's not everyone on the left either, okay? They're trying to build that image so that the powers that be realize something. There's a lot of people who might slightly lean to the right or slightly lean to the left. And when I say slightly, they might actually support some of the farther right policies or some of what some people might call farther left policies. And you look at that and you say, well, they should not agree on anything. But it turns out they do. Turns out when you poll, except for maybe some on the far right, when you look at the average American on whether or not, marijuana should be legalized, over half the country's in favor of it. When you look at a healthcare program, they can kind of agree. Yeah, you get all that pushback. Oh, single payer. Oh, it's so bad. So bad. You're going to have a waiting line. Oh, my God, you've got to go on a list. You got to wait. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Interesting. That being said, what you're trying to say is that people who were well off enough or had really great healthcare plans already or just made enough money they could really afford this private system that's, making billions and billions and billions of dollars a year for private insurance companies. The people who could afford to pay these sort of prices that had, maybe less of a waiting time because there wasn't as many people having to go to a doctor. Oh, no, you're not going to like this because, everyone's going to be able to go to the doctor now. You're not going to be a special breed. You're going to have other people that's going to have services too. You have to wait a little while. So, I feel sorry for them so bad that they might have to wait a little while to see a doctor. In regards to someone like myself, on the other hand, now, again, this should be prioritized by the severity of your issue. If I just need to see the doctor and you need freaking surgery done, go ahead of me. I mean, seriously, I have no problem with that. My only concern is that I'd be able to go to a doctor and not worry about it bankrupting my ass. Because that's exactly what, if anything serious were to happen to me right now, is exactly what would happen. I'd be in debt so far over my head, it would be unreal. Okay? And I've given this example multiple times on my show. Okay? There was an incident I had last year where I wound up getting stabbed in my hand. Slip-up accident with a pair of scissors trying to open a package. Okay, scissors ended up stabbing me right in between my thumb and index finger. Didn't have insurance, didn't want to try to go to hospital, get stitches. And this is something that I've been doing off and on to any sort of injury I pretty much sustain, unless it was absolutely horrible enough that I would have had no other choice to go to hospital. And a lot of people argued that was the case for that one, but I knew I'm not going to be able to afford this bill. I can't afford to go. I've got too many other things on my plate as it is already. And so, peroxide, gauze, Ace Wrap, and a little bottle of Loctite to close the wound shut before I wrapped and bandaged it. Every night, take the wrap off and everything. Luckily, Loctite kind of dries and flakes off almost like a scab. So when I took the bandage off, it would be stuck and it would literally pull off, so it would reopen, and then I was able to clean it, do the whole thing over again. Did that for a matter of a couple of weeks until the wound was pretty much healed. So I'm treating myself at home pretty much, because again, can't afford to go to the doctor because healthcare is just a little out of this guy's price range. They don't offer a good plan, and private's a little too expensive. Okay, so again, Biden talking about his plan would be great. Biden's plan would leave 10 million people uninsured. Biden's plan is building upon Obamacare. Obamacare did me zero favors when it was in office. The only thing Obamacare did for me was still have a system where I really couldn't afford the health care, while at the same time fining me every year for not being able to pay for health care that I couldn't afford, and yet still not going to a doctor either, because I didn't want to go to something that I wasn't going to be able to pay for. So I chose to not go. I didn't get yearly checkups. I didn't get physicals. If I was sick, stayed home, took medicine. Okay? If I was injured, dealt with it at home. Okay? Just haven't gone to do things like that. And here's the thing. There's probably a lot of other people out there that's had to do the exact same things. Biden's plan is going to be an absolute disaster. But nonetheless, that's who the Democratic Party has coerced around. That's who they've decided they're going to support. That's who all the mainstream Democrats have come out in favor of. And Bernie has said he would support him when the rubber meets the road as well. So, honestly, it's time that people, if you wanted a Bernie or a Tulsi presidency, it's time we start getting serious about this. The Bernie thing is not happening. And this brings me back to something I was going to say a minute ago. The upcoming states that are getting ready to vote, Bernie lost last time around. Okay? The problem is, okay, you would say, okay, well, he lost his last time around. How about some of the others? That's the problem. There were states Bernie won last time. He hasn't won this time. And even some of the ones he has won might not even won by as big of a margin as he won last time. Like it or not, Joe Biden has hurt Bernie Sanders in this campaign. He has. And the way things are right now, we are full steam ahead toward one of the most ridiculous, horrible candidates I've ever seen. Yes, he's got that old likable grandpa thing, but this man is literally well down dementia, dementia street, okay? He owns property there right now. All right? This guy, and here's the hypocrisy of it all. If you really want to get down to brass tacks, as we say, okay? The mainstream media has harped and harped and harped away on what is Donald Trump's fitness. Is he mentally fit to be the president of the United States? Is he mentally able to handle this job? Is something wrong with him? We've heard, the Pillsbury Doughboy over at CNN, Brian Stelter, squeaking and squawking about this for the last 3 years now, whether he's fit to maintain office. Why are you not asking this about a guy who could barely get out sentences? Are you serious? This guy can barely speak. His mind has wandered away from him that bad. He tries to give a speech where he's talking about, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That all men are created equal. And and you know the thing. Yeah, the thing. The thing. You know the thing. Come on. It reminds me of the Lewis Black skit, literally, where he was going through what happens to you in old age when they're talking about like a movie or something. You remember the movie? Yeah, the movie. The movie that had the guy in it. Oh, you know the guy. The guy. You know the guy. He does the thing. Yeah, you know the thing. That's literally what that reminded me of, watching that. Okay? Like an old Lewis Black stand-up skit. Okay? Joe, who in the right mind thinks that Joe Biden, just looking at what we saw, has a snowball's chance in hell against Donald Trump. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Bernie has got the big uphill battle now about winning this nomination. As if he didn't have one in the first place because of going to a second round ballot and superdelegates voting. But now that doesn't even look like he's really got the path to a plurality. Good luck. Okay? Good freaking luck. All right? Joe Biden gets nominated. Biden versus Trump. Donald Trump's getting 2 terms. I'm calling it right now. There's no way when new stats are out that the Republicans in Congress are more popular than the Democrats, and we know why. Impeachment failed. Russiagate failed. All these things the Democrats have been slinging poo like apes, like chimps slinging their poo at each other. Okay, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer just slinging poo at Republicans this entire time. Okay, trying to do anything to sink Donald Trump, like the man or not, and agree with what they did or not. Their actions failed. That part's not deniable. It failed. And they made a martyr out of him. Whether you think he should be or not. They did. He's a martyr now. He is someone who can stand up and say, see how bad they want to take me out because I'm the head of this movement. And it's working. They have done nothing but help Donald Trump. So maybe Joe Biden wasn't that crazy after all when he says that all we can do is re-elect Donald Trump. Because the Democrats, at the end of the day, have been working overtime to make sure it happens. They've built Donald Trump up to be a martyr. And they're about to nominate a guy who Donald Trump is going to squash like a bug on a debate stage in the general election. And the only outsider in the race has already said he would, of course, support my friend Joe Biden to get squashed by Donald Trump. This is what you have of the Democrat Party. This is your people's party, really? No, it's not at all. And the Democrat Party does not reflect the will of the people. So it's time to stop saying that they do. They might talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk when the rubber meets the road. Even take candidates like Elizabeth Warren. Stab Bernie in the back. Kyle Kalinske kind of brought this up. Yeah, she don't really believe in her platform. If she did, wouldn't be any, question about who she would have supported. But no, it's all talk from these people. All talk. Wrapping up, we are long overdue for a serious third party. Because if what we saw, Sunday night is the continuation of anything to come from the Democrat Party, this country is in bad shape. And it is certainly time we get a third party that actually represents the backbone of this country, which is the working class people and blue collar America. And where a lot of the people on the right and the left who can actually see eye to eye on many issues start coming together, working together, and really put both the Republicans and the Democrats on their heels and vote their asses out of office.